Our country's the best. Our music runs the world. Nobody's got culture like we do. Our accent, our culture, our food, nobody does it like us. It sounds like pride, but what if I told you it's not always power? What if I told you it's programming? What if I told you we're not just bragging, we're reenacting a script written for us on the plantation? On plantations across the Americas, from Jamaica's sugar fields to South Carolina's rice coast, from Barbados to Brazil, slaves were taught to compete. In slavery, some people bragged, "My master feeds us better. We don't get whipped like y'all. Our quarters are cleaner. Our plantation is peaceful." It wasn't pride. It was programming. It wasn't love. It was a survival tactic. When you have no control over your life, you find pride in whatever makes your pain seem bearable. They weren't free, so they flexed their chains. Here, this quote by Frederick Douglass. It was considered evidence of great confidence in the slave to say he was on the best plantation. In Jamaica, enslaved Creoles sometimes looked down on African-born slaves, calling them uncivilized. On some islands, house slaves were taught to look down on field hands. Catholics were told they were more obedient than non-Christians. All this made rebellion harder and control easier. After slavery, colonial powers didn't stop playing the game. They just switched the board. Now it was island versus island, country versus country. Each colony became a little rival competing for trade, attention, crumbs of British or French approval. Barbados was called Little England and praised for loyalty. Jamaica got labeled rebellious and got punished for it. Trinidad was praised for its oil, but told to avoid Jamaican-style agitation. Haiti, the first black republic, was punished and isolated, while other islands were warned, "You don't want to end up like Haiti." That's what they said over and over. Not because Haiti failed, but because Haiti dared to be free. And for that, they were ostracized, punished, and sanctioned by the same empires that profited from their chains. Don't get it twisted. Rebellions happened everywhere. From Jamaica to Guadeloupe, from Berbice to Barbados. The difference? Geography, terrain, timing, numbers, strategy. But the people, the bloodline, the same. Caribbean division was manufactured, and we're still living in the echo of that strategy. These weren't just insults. They were tools of control, and they worked. Caribbean islands rarely united. African nations were divided by arbitrary borders. Even post-independence, leaders were taught to distrust one another, and so were their people. Divide, compare, distract, so the people never unify, and the colonizers keep control. Now, we flex with flags, the same way slaves once bragged about masters. Our music runs the world. Your culture is watered down. We ain't Africans. Y'all sold us. Meanwhile, we watch you selling yourselves the culture, the land, even your children's future, all while pointing fingers and ignoring the real puppet masters still pulling strings. The game hasn't changed. They're just better at hiding the chains. Same trap, just upgraded. They have turned division into a digital sport. We argue in circles, while they keep winning in silence. Plantation pride, now on Instagram. Meanwhile, the real enemies of our unity, the IMF, colonial debt, foreign corporations, extractive industries are eating us alive, and we're online arguing about who dances better. Meanwhile, the ones who own our music, exploit our land, and extract our value. They're watching, laughing. The truth? They need us divided. Pan-African unity is a threat. That's why Haiti was isolated. That's why Garvey was deported. They gave us flags, but kept the land, the gold, the distribution. While we compete, they collect. While we brag, they bank. When we brag about our piece of land while dissing our cousins across the sea, we're doing the colonizers' work for them. Unity is threatening. Pan-Africanism is dangerous. So they gave us flags and football and told us, that's your identity now. Meanwhile, our raw materials fuel their economy. Our youth fight their wars. Our music fills their charts, but they own the labels. Real pride doesn't put your brothers and sisters down. Real pride lifts the whole diaspora up. Marcus Garvey didn't care if you were from Kingston, Accra, or Atlanta. He said, one God, one aim, one destiny. Sankara said, we must dare to invent the future together. Marley said, Africa, unite. Not Africa, compete. If your culture is strong, share it. If your country has talent, build bridges, not borders. If your ancestors survived slavery, colonization, and genocide, act like it. If you still need to flex that your country, your music, or your flag is better than your kin's, you're still on the plantation. Just with better Wi-Fi and louder speakers, real power is getting off the plantation. Real pride doesn't compete, it connects. The real flex is building power together, not whose ancestors were colonized better. Not by bragging about whose chains were shinier, but by breaking the fence down together. The fence that keeps us divided. One people, one struggle, one future. Uncolonized, the mind,